9998% of statistics are made up. Just kidding. For those of you who are now thinking in your seats thinking, I wonder what the actual statistics are. Well, I did the work. The answer is, while Jews make up only 3% of the United States population, 80% of professional comics are Jewish. From the haunted smile commenting on humor in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. There are like a bajillion types of Jewish humor, but most of them can be sorted down to 4. Self-deprecating humor, which is pretty much Jews making fun of themselves. Pretty sure we all know about that one. Kelm humor, which is about a specific town in Poland where the people are pretty foolish. But these are almost in poor taste because the people just don't get it at all. Another type is Galgen humor, otherwise known as gallows humor. This humor comes from sadness and oppression. There's also a bunch of jokes about Jewish lifestyles. These are mostly about Jewish mothers and just holidays and stuff like that. An example, but these can also be combined. An example of that is, there were 2 men sitting on a bus. One was reading the local newspaper and one was reading a Nazi newspaper. The man reading the local newspaper was horrified that a Jewish man could be reading the Nazi newspaper. He said, "Why are you reading that?" The man reading the Nazi newspaper said, "You're over there reading that newspaper and you reading about how Jewish religion is dying and you get all depressed. I'm reading that Jewish people are taking over the banks, they're getting all the money, and that the Jewish population is overruling everything." A lot of humor in America started in the Borscht Belt, which was a holiday in, or more like a resort area in New York that catered to New York City Jews on their summer vacations. It started many comedians on their long path to fame and stardom and Jewishdom and stuff like that. It started Jerry Seinfeld, Woody Allen, Don Rickles, and Rodney Dangerfield. He plays more on the making fun of himself side of things. His normal line is, "I don't get no respect around here." He says it like that too. One of my favorites of his jokes is, "Once when I was lost, I saw a policeman and asked him to help me find my parents. I said to him, 'Do you think we'll ever find them?' He said, 'I don't know, kid. There are so many places they could hide.'" Another one from the Borscht Belt is Don Rickles. He plays more on the offending others type of things, just makes fun of everybody. All of this humor and great types of just Jewish humor in general paved the way for NBC's Saturday Night Live. A lot of great comedians came out of that, like Gilda Radner. She had one of her skits, which is Jewish Genes, where she's playing on the more Jewish American princess stereotype, and she just goes around and she's just really funny. She also has a bunch of characters that are pretty Jewish, even though they're not really supposed to be, like Emily Latella, Lisa Lupner, and Rosanna Dana. Another one that I couldn't possibly leave out is Adam Sandler. Pretty sure you've all heard his Hanukkah song, right? Another one of my favorites is Sarah Silverman. I read her book, The Bedwetter, where she talks about all of her childhood struggles, like going to a Jewish sleepaway camp and having bedwetting problems. As you can imagine, that didn't turn out that well. But somehow, using her comedian side of life, she made it really funny. I don't know how. Saturday Night Live also had a bunch of skits that were Jewish, like Hanukkah Harry, where Hanukkah Harry is a pretty old guy and he rides on his reindeer, Herschel, Moisha, and Shlomo. There's a song, on Herschel, on Moisha, on Shlomo, goes like that. There's also Drake's bar mitzvah, where Drake has his bar mitzvah and he raps a lot. And there's also Jew or Not a Jew, where a bunch of people look at facts on famous people and they decide and make a guess on whether or not they think they're Jewish. And that's a picture of someone that looks Jewish. I don't actually know what that is. In conclusion, there are a lot of funny Jews, and it's just funny, I mean, you know. And if you like this presentation, you should read my book coming out in 2080. Jewish Unicorns versus Not Jewish Unicorns and their relation to the political society. Thank you.
Well, I just want to express our thanks, first of all, to Gabby Goodman, the wonderful teacher of the Science class. She's done a great job. And I'd like all the kids to come up and just stand in front of the stage. I think we need another big round of applause. And I just feel exceptionally proud of all of you. It's such a wonderful job. And I really can't wait to the bar bat mitzvah ceremony in May to hear what these kids have to say about their own Jewish identity. So please join us for some light refreshments outside, and thank you again for coming.
All right, I'm going to take off.